Okay, kids.
We got T-Mobile's unlimited family plan with Netflix included, so...
Our New Year's resolution is to not spoil your shows since we can watch our own shows on our phones, tablets, or TV.
Good.
Get 4 lines for just $40 each per month with AutoPay, taxes and fees included, and a Netflix subscription on us, so you can watch your favorite movies and shows. Only with T-Mobile.
Video streams at 480p. A small fraction of customers using over 50 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Netflix for 2 screens included. Terms apply. Price includes sales tax.
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Taz, Chill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. How you want it in a 1 or 2 hour show to get the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level. Bold with the topic, sort of like the rubber when it's game time. They like the Fab Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4th and 26th or the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.
What's good, War Room family? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Devin McMillan. I'm in the building with my brothers. We got the homie in the building again. We got Hank Rawlinson, a.k.a. Billy Beige. Jimmy the Blueprint will be with us in just a few minutes. But look, man, 2 hours of sports, life, and entertainment on deck. So settle in. Keep it locked right here. And if you want to get in on the conversation, make sure you join us right now in the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/The War Room, or join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call in directly in about 5 minutes when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. Real quick, during the week when we're not live on the air, be sure to check out archive episodes of the show at warroomsports.com. The War Room Sports mobile app, which is free, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, and all the other places where you consume great podcasts. What up, Hank, man? You ready for President Oprah or nah?
Nah, man, I pass. I'm good on celebrities right now. I mean, let Oprah do what she do from the top. Man.
This has been, it's been crazy, man, because it seems like, I'm not hating on Oprah. But all week, it seems like I've been on this crusade to just let people know that they need to slow down a little bit. I think Donald Trump has set the bar so low. Anybody who gives a half-decent speech that moves you in any way is our next presidential candidate. Oprah's up next.
Absolutely.
Even though Hank, her speech had... Right. What'd you say?
Yeah. They don't care if they know anything about, politics. They don't know if they know anything about laws. We really don't know Oprah's political views in any way whatsoever. Like, we just know that she's women empowerment. Like Oprah's a billionaire. She probably has some pretty conservative financial views, And a lot of the people that are talking about this Oprah 2020 stuff, I think that they're probably liberals and lean more towards that side when we talk about finances. So, they need to pump their brakes.
I just don't think that political views and knowing anything about the laws it's no longer a prerequisite for holding the office as President of the United States. And I saw so many people this week talking about, if Oprah runs, she has my vote. And my immediate question was the same thing you just said. Like, well, who knows her political views? What does she do to earn your vote? Besides make a speech about Me Too at the Golden Globes. Her speech had nothing to do with politics. That's why I don't understand how president came out of this whole thing.
Exactly, man.
Crazy.
But it's like Donald Trump was the first celebrity, president, and now it's wide open. Like, remember how TV used to be all about scripted shows, and then the shows happened, and now it's all reality TV. Like, Donald Trump has turned the presidency into reality TV. Matter of fact, don't he got an award show coming up soon, man?
I thought he was supposed to do it this past Monday. It was supposed to be like the fake news awards or something like that.
Yeah, he was supposed to have a fake news, but then he said, due to overwhelming popularity and Just the response to it that he was going to push it back 2 weeks. So I'm excited, man. Like, this might be the next, best award show next to the Sports Awards or something. Somebody might get stabbed. Who knows, man? The Donald Trump Award is going to be good.
Yeah, so, I mean, the way I'm seeing it right now, it's going to be Trump now, Oprah 2020, Ellen DeGeneres, 2024, LeBron James, he might be retired by then, so he can probably grab 2028, Cardi B in 2032. The country about to be lit, man, because, all of our presidents are going to be fun. And,
I'll go Cardi B. No doubt, man.
Cardi or whatever like that. All right. Well, let's get into some hot topics, man. Talk some sports before the people start an uprising. And hot topics are brought to you by Sports the Book, of course. You guys tired of reading the same old sports books with the same lists, rankings, imaginary starting lineups, fake GOAT conversations, all sorts of subjective information being passed as facts? Well, if you are, just make sure you pick up your copy of Sports. Smart people only read the sports. This mixture of sports and hip-hop culture will keep you on the edge of your seat, and it'll also keep you laughing like you're watching a comedy special. So just go to sportsthebook.com or get your copy from our website at warroomsports.com. Whatever you do and wherever you get it from, just don't miss the movement. So before we get into, everything that we're going to talk about on our rundown, of course, we got to start with the NFL. The big news of this particular week is the divisional round coming up. So we got Gus Griffin on the line, War Room Sports handicapper, who is coming in this week. He's been catching up the last few weeks. He's not quite 500 for the season yet, but Gus is sitting at 38, 43-2, and he's going to give his pick for this weekend's NFL action against the spread. So let me get Gus on the line. Gus, what's going on, good brother?
How y'all doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
What's going on,
waiting on these picks, man. I might have to throw a chunk down this weekend. I got some stuff I need to pay for. So what better way of, being responsible and paying for what you need to pay for than gambling? So,
hey, that's right. And just make sure you read the small print on my investment sheet, the disclaimer.
These are not no. All right, so let's start with. It's a big game, especially for Hank and I, because we're native Philadelphians. We're Philadelphia Eagles fans. We got the Eagles at home against the Falcons. The Eagles at this point are home dogs. Spread right now, 3. Where are you going with this?
I'm taking the Falcons -3. I think the sleeper, and the obvious reason for that, of course, is with Wentz being out and Foles being in. If Foles were half as good as he were the first week against the Giants, then hey, maybe they're favorites here. But it's just not a lot of reason for hope if you're an Eagle fan as far as how Foles has played the last 2 weeks. But the sleeper in this game is Atlanta's defense has played significantly well, especially in the second half of the season. Their offense has never quite got to what it was last year, but the defense has been sneakily better. I'm taking the Falcons -3. Sorry, fellas.
Hey, no problem. No problem. There's not much for us to argue there. We could just defend the home team and say, look, man, the past 3 weeks, we've just been showing our vanilla offense because we're back in preseason mode. We don't want to show you what we're really going to do to teams once we get in the playoffs. But that's what we could say. I don't know if that's what we're going to say. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it later. Steelers. We're going to stay in Pennsylvania with this. The Steelers, 7-point favorites against the Jags. Taking the Steelers on that?
I usually don't take my team, but again, I got to catch up. So I'm going to take my boys. This is a classic payback game. Unless you think that Ben is going to throw 5 interceptions again, 2 pick sixes, I don't see where the Jaguars offense come from. Blake Bortles Blake Bortles just doesn't get enough points. 10 points against Buffalo, that certainly ain't going to beat my Steelers. They need at least double that plus Steeler turnovers. They take care of the ball. They won't lose. I expect them to win by at least 10. Steelers minus 10.
Yeah, and this is pretty much a revenge game here, so it's difficult to see the Steelers not win and maybe not, win big, even though the Jaguars have a very formidable and nasty defense. Like you said, if their offense holds the form of what they've been doing lately, then they're just not going to score enough points. All right.
They're not. I mean, it was a similar situation with the Steelers and the Dolphins last year. Dolphins handed us our tails, and in the playoffs, it was reversed, and that's often what happens.
Yeah. All right, so the Patriots minus 13 versus the Titans.
Yeah,
no
big
love
number.
For my man Mariota, no love. He throws touchdowns to himself. You don't get
Well, that's why there's no love. That's why there's no love. It's like cheating on your sister. You know what I mean? It's like cheating with your girlfriend's sister or something, man. And, you don't get any credit for that. But here's the bottom line. That's a big number, especially in the playoffs. But let's face it, the Chiefs lost more than the Titans won that game. Okay? I mean, you get shut out in the second half at home. What do you come on. And the Pats have covered 9 of the last 10.
Threw for like 85 yards, and like 6 of them were to himself. So
there you go. And the Patriots have covered the last 9 of the last 10. This is what they do. 4 of them by double digits. This is what they do. I generally don't do this, but I mean, I think they're going to win this game by at least 17.
Damn. All right. And the last game of the weekend, we got the Saints plus 4.5 at the Vikings.
Yeah, if this were outside, I would be hesitant to do it. But the Saints are as complete a team as there is in the NFL. The other piece is this. I generally, when I see a team or a player that's overachieved during the season, to me, you go against them in the playoffs. And if Case Keenum hasn't been an overachiever, I don't know what it is. So I'm taking the Saints plus the 4. I don't know that they'll win. I wouldn't be shocked if they do, but certainly I see this as a field goal game either way.
All right, so that's your 4 NFL divisional round games. We're going to see how it goes. Gus, you've been kind of, you've been doing pretty well lately. So, you're getting the confidence of the people back around here.
I've been playing possum.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what the Eagles are doing. The last 3 weeks, that's what they're doing. Playing possum,
and by the way,
make it count when it really counts. We're gonna make it count.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, well, we'll talk to you next week for the conference championship round.
Well, appreciate it. And next day or two, should have a column coming out on the biggest platform pimp of 2018.
That actually came out about 20 minutes ago. So everybody look for that on warroomsports.com. We will be talking about this platform pimp in just a few minutes here as well, and I will be citing some things from your article. So we'll talk to you next week. Thanks again for your time. Go Eagles.
All right. All right. Go Steelers. Take care.
All right. That's Gus Griffin, everybody, in his NFL investment picks of the week. As a matter of fact, Hank, let's talk about that right now, because Gus did write an article that came out today on warroomsports.com about the biggest platform pimp of the year. And he gave that award to John Gruden for the heist that he just pulled off in Oakland with a 10-year, $100 million contract to coach that team again. What were your thoughts when you first heard, first of all, he was coming back down from the booth, and then the Brinks truck that the Raiders backed up to his front door to get him to do so?
Yeah, so it wasn't a shock that he came down from the booth. I think,
right.
Every year.
Those rumors are there every year.
Yeah, exactly. We hear something about him possibly coming down. But, the amount of money – actually, it wasn't even the amount of money that got me. It was the amount of years. $10 million a year, I think it's a lot of money. But I think I could see him holding out until he got that deal. He probably had that number in his head for the past 5 years. Like, I'm not coming out of this booth unless I get $10 million a year. And everybody probably knew that. But the idea of giving him a 10-year contract, and I've yet to
He
see
on his
anywhere.
floor.
Where
coming
they
out and
talked
left.
about him. I've yet to see anything where they talked about any sort of outs on his contract, and I think most coaches' contracts are fully guaranteed. So I'm amazed that he was able to stick them up for $100 million for 10 years. I mean, and it's like his legend grew every year. Yes, John Gruden was a pretty good coach. He won a Super Bowl. It was impressive because he played against his own team in the Super Bowl too, so he kind of was responsible.
So he's kind of you had two teams in the bowl in the same day.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is the thing. Because people always give Tony Dungy credit for building that Bucs team, but at the same time, if you want to dismiss Gruden in that situation, he was playing against the team that he built.
Exactly. So you got to give him credit for that. But since then, it's like he's become a legend. Like I heard people say legendary coach John Gruden. And when he was on his way out, wasn't nobody talking about him being a legendary coach. He had a lot of just pretty good to mediocre years after that Super Bowl. So, I think being around the game, he should be able to he should have a shorter learning curve than most people that have taken 10 years off of anything. But it's still a lot different sitting there and commentating than it is dedicating yourself every single day to figuring out how to beat these teams and lock himself. I know he's always loved film. I know he's always been that guy that worked hard, but it's hard to go from being a workaholic to being less of a workaholic and turning that switch back on later in your life. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if he can do it. But 10 years, $100 million.
And then you gotta think about the fact that it has been 10 years, and even though he's been around the game, it's all going to depend on his willingness to adapt. He could be, calling games in the booth for all of these years, but he could come out and say, my way is best. What I was doing back then is better than this new football stuff, and then come out and get washed like Chip Kelly or somebody who doesn't want to adapt and not do it their way 100%. So, that's one thing we have to look out for. But I was looking at Gus's article. First of all, I didn't know in Tampa. I probably should have known. That's probably why he got fired. Even though he did win that Super Bowl, his overall record in Tampa was 57-55. I think he cited he was overall 38-26 in his 4 years in Oakland. So like you're saying, like John Gruden, he should be respected as a good coach, but I think you're exactly right. Like the longer he was in the booth, his legend just grew because every year everybody was clamoring for when somebody needs a coach. Well, they might get Gruden. But then when you look back at his accomplishments besides the Super Bowl, what has Gruden really done? His record is not that. I don't know. And Gus calls him a platform pimp because he's basically saying he used that Monday night platform to become and appear legendary, and people basically fell for it, and they've been falling for it for the past 5 years because his name is always the first to come up.
Absolutely. It's like a LeVar Ball. We see him commenting so much, and everything that he says, it gets so much that you look at, his comments, you're like, oh my goodness, the Lakers must really be in trouble because he said that, they don't like playing for Luke Walton. But it's like, he's just somebody's crazy daddy. Like, y'all buy him way too much in the way he says. But he has that platform.
All right, and we got Skyview in the chat room. He said Gruden has been, and he wrote it in big font. Gruden has been watching game tape on every team and their tendencies for the last 10 years. Mind you, let me give you the disclaimer here, Hank. Skyview 1 is a Raiders fan. So, we've already talked about this behind the scenes, and he's a little bit excited. and he pointed out some stuff. He said the year before, Raiders got robbed by the Tuck rule. The year before, it took a Shannon Sharp 87-yard run to keep him out of the Super Bowl. those are actually two things that Gus cites in his article. So Skyview, check it out. Go to warroomsports.com and check out the latest article because he does mention that. The year before when they played the Ravens and lost to the Ravens, that was the year that Tony Siragusa basically fell on top of Mark Gannon. Is Mark Gannon? Whatever his name is. When he fell on top of Gannon Rich Gannon, and he was out of the game for he was out of the rest of the game, and the Trent Dilfer led Ravens ended up going on to the Super Bowl, and then before then it was the Tuck Rule, which was one of the biggest BS plays in the history of the game. So his story could be different.
There's always an excuse why somebody didn't win. Like you could go through Andy Reid's career and he would be the greatest coach of all time if not for one play every year.
Right.
Like
this stuff happens.
Yeah.
If it was a spliff, we'd be off.
Yeah, man. My grandma used to say if it was a fifth, we all be drunk. That's what she said.
Yeah,
she also used to say that they had birth control when she was doing her thing. We'd all would have been a pill, but that's neither.
And shout out to Jimmy, who will be here in a few minutes. Quoting him, he always says, "If Grandma had a penis, she'd be Granddad." So if is a big word. Like that stuff didn't happen. And it's unfortunate. We will all acknowledge that it was really some tough situations and it should have happened, but it really didn't. And I'm not mad at the hire per se. Like, so I'm not telling Raiders fans to squelch your excitement because of the hire. It's more so like what you said, Hank. Like the contract is ridiculous. The years in the contract is ridiculous. You're giving 10 years in a profession where coaches are coming in and getting canned in 2 or 3 because it's like the culture of immediacy. So it's kind of crazy to have somebody who's been off for 10 years. I don't care how much film they've watched. It's crazy. I don't think anybody would feel that way if Ron Jaworski got hired for 10 years right now and he watches more film than anybody on the planet Earth. Yeah, so that's crazy, man. But good luck to the Raiders. Good luck to you, Skyview. But, it's also one of them things where you just can't count on one person to come and change the whole fortunes of an organization. So it depends on what he does, the personnel that they bring in, the coaching staff that he puts together. But we will watch it closely and see what's going to happen. All right, so we're going to get the homie on the line, Tobias. I know he's patiently waiting, and we're about to talk about his Alabama Crimson Tide. So we're going to get Mr. Roll Tide himself on the line to talk about this for a few minutes with us. Tobias, you're in the war room, good brother. Roll damn Tide.
Roll damn Tide, baby. How's it going, fellas? Today is a beautiful day. The sun is shining bright. The earth is back on its axis. The birds are chirping. The kids are frolicking in the street, baby. Roll Tide, baby.
Yeah, I know it's been a good week for you. I know it's been a great week for you because during that game, I know it got a little bit uncomfortable for you there.
Woo!
But the Tide came back.
Hey, that game, man, I tell you what. People kept saying, well, why does Saban start Tua all along? Well, here's the thing, a big picture thing I look at. One, no one thinks Jalen Hurts is going to be a pro quarterback. But the thing is, what people don't get, though, is you can put that pressure on that kid, and every time the camera shows, they can see a picture of Jalen Hurts every time he throws a pick or a complete pass. So to me, this is a good way of saying, hey, this guy took as far as he could. But this new guy here is infinitely better at throwing the football. You saw how the offense was.
I mean, that's one of those things. Alabama's always such a good team. Basically, they're almost always the best team in the nation. It's difficult for you to just throw a true freshman in there, when your expectations are national championship every year. And when you do throw them in there, it was gutsy for Saban to do it even in this situation because even if you have what's probably a better quarterback sitting behind this guy, you're still looking at the experience factor And you're looking at the fact like, man, I can tell you right now he's better than this guy, but you don't know what he's going to do when you throw him into the national championship game. And
here's the thing.
I mean, he showed us,
just like this,
but that's not what you expect a young dude to do like that.
Look at that kicker we got. 5-star prospects and never get a good kicker. This dude was 15 out of 17 under 40 yards. The dude missed that game at late kick so bad it missed the net.
That kick was bad that kick was bad. When soon as dude put it down, I don't like the angle he ran at was wrong or something. I don't know what he was doing. That kick was terrible.
Hey, there. I don't care. With 4th and 25. You couldn't put him back out there. You had to go for it. You got to take your chance. But you know what? But the thing is, though, and one thing is you watch that game, that fourth quarter was, to me, a recruiting pitch. If you compete, you work hard, you get a shot. But also look at all those freshmen they use. And they got a backup left tackle they put in. After the starter got hurt, he has the best left tackle name ever, Alex Leatherwood. That sounds like a country name. But I think that but also what he does also is that his backups are ready to play. He's getting them ready, getting them reps because you never know when they're going to be used. But honestly, I'm just enjoying the ride. But I got to touch on John Gruden real quick. Last time I said he's Jeff Fisher with a Super Bowl ring. What next? Brian Billick gonna get the Monday night gig and get him an Otto Porter deal?
Jeff Fisher with a Super Bowl ring.
That could be a good point. I'm a Bucs fan.
Right.
So he never developed a young quarterback or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and he was supposed to be the quarterback guru, the offensive genius, and that was actually where the Bucs struggled on the offensive side of the ball because they had like an all-world defense, maybe top 10 defense of all time, maybe higher than that. But
people get caught
it's an interesting situation.
People get caught up in the fact
that think about it. Who did he
develop?
Wait,
would you say, Hank?
And it's like, oh, sorry, Hank, can you hear me?
Yeah. I was saying people get caught up in the fact that he used to do that segment with the draft picks with the quarterback, and now all of a sudden he's this great quarterback guru again. Like just because he talked to people before the draft.
But most of them quarterbacks turned out to be bad. So did he teach them anything?
He's always in love with the wrong one.
Right. So that doesn't bode well for the Raiders' draft future. But
I got a question.
Hopefully, Derek Carr will stay healthy and stay, at the helm. So it might not matter.
I got a question on the Saban thing though. What other coach would be allowed to make a move like that in the second half of a championship game?
Against that team in Atlanta. Because people don't realize, who don't think college football people, that was a home game for Georgia. That was Atlanta. And that thing was 70-30 Georgia. And so he threw him in like the ultimate road game with the championship on the line. And that takes guts right there.
His career. Like, we could say what we want about Jalen, but like, dude has been successful. It's not like he's been a bum and just loses every game.
25-2. So
exactly.
and no coach is going to bench 25-2 unless he didn't have it that night. And then when the other guy came in too, he just balled out. And I just think, hey, the competition was probably going to be open anyway because this guy's a better thrower of the ball. And I'm going to be honest, Jalen Hurts, he handled that thing with class. And I think like a lot of these young players should pay attention and take notes of that.
Hey, Hank, I was about to say that there's probably only one coach in the NFL who can make a decision like that. But I don't even know if he can do that because of who his quarterback is. He can't do that to Tom Brady.
You see what happened?
So even Bill Belichick can't do
that. Jimmy G, according to the press, according to the
article.
article.
There's not even an NFL coach that can do that. This dude did this in the fourth quarter of a championship game. Crazy.
I'll say this before I run, guys. By the way, I hope Fred, since your boy Robert Kraft didn't want, Jimmy G traded, get ready for those years of Brian Hoyer when Tom Brady falls off that cliff. And also the playoffs, it's like, Tennessee's getting smoked. But it just shows how wacky this NFL is. No one, it's like Tennessee and Jacksonville aren't that good of teams. But look what happened. They made the playoffs. And that, the two better quarterbacks got hurt. But it just shows how crazy that league is, though. Then you got teams in the NFC, who like not the Panthers, but that was a team in the NFC who was on the outside looking in. I forgot. Or the San Diego or the LA Chargers were on the outside looking in, and they were much better teams than the Titans and the Jaguars. It's crazy how it works out,
Yeah, it's very crazy. And now these guys are in, and they actually advanced around, so you never know. That's why people say, you just want to get there because you never know what'll happen once you get there. All right, man, but keep enjoying your week. Another national championship for your guys. Saban is just trying to overshadow and remove Bear Bryant from the record books. I don't know how many more national championships he has in him before. It might be 0. I hear that the Giants' job is his dream job, and that job's open.
I'll say this real quick. I want to give a special shout out to the Miami Dolphins team doctor who did not clear Drew Brees. I love that guy. I will pay off his mortgage right now, wash his car, and I even let him mess with my girlfriend for the night because he brought me so much joy. Shout out to Dante Culpepper for sucking so bad. Sage Rosenfeld, those guys were sucking so bad. Shout out to those guys as well. We couldn't have done it without you, baby. Roll Tide. You guys have a good one, man.
All right, man. You have a good one. He's hyped. Man. He's hyped.
Yo,
I want to be hyped like that for a week after an NFL season one day. I wonder how that feels.
Yo, did Tobias just offer up his girlfriend, to the medical doctor?
I think he just did that. Roll damn time.
Feels that good? Yeah, I just need to feel it one time, man. Just one time.
Oh man, I missed the question in the chat room. Skyview was telling me to ask Tobias, does Jalen Hurts, does he come back or transfer? I think it's pretty much time to go somewhere else. Maybe you should go see Lane Kiffin at UCF or something like that. So
when he read that the NCAA, they gonna make him sit out for 3.5 years if he transfers. So
right, I know. Now, one more thing back to the whole Gruden thing. Aren't coaches' contracts guaranteed? So, even if he gets fired after 2 years, aren't they going to have to pay him for the next 8 years?
Yeah.
Is that how that work in the NFL?
That's what I'm saying. Most of them are guaranteed.
Right, because Skyview, he was contracts are broken every season, but I'm like, contract might be broke. He might not be the coach, but they still going to be paying him.
You're going to pay him.
Yeah. I guess that doesn't matter because that's not against the salary cap or anything like that, so that's not my money. So
yeah. Like my man Mike Brown in the NBA. Mike Brown getting checks from 4 different teams right now.
Yeah, Mike Brown is, first of all, Mike Brown, shout out to him. Every time his name come up, I have to give him props on being the greatest interviewer the world has seen, because I don't know how Mike Brown keeps getting these jobs, some of these high-profile jobs. But shout out to him, man. I'm not mad at any man's bag. So, Gruden, you go get yours, and Mike Brown, you keep getting yours.
Yeah, Mike Brown, he must got that real good resume paper, man. That extra heavy, John. You know what I mean? He must follow up afterwards with a thank you, email. He looks everybody in the eyes, shake their hands. Mike Brown needs to teach a class, man.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's make some picks real quick for the divisional round coming up. I guess we can get all this stuff out of the way before Jimmy comes, because Jimmy not gonna want to talk about this football stuff anyway. So I guess we can start with the home team, too. The Falcons at Eagles. What do you think about this game, man? Think Nick Foles can turn back the clock back to 2013 and make this something that people aren't expecting to see this come Saturday?
No.
Is it over for us?
No, not gonna happen. I mean, look, I think Nick Foles is who he is. He's not going to win this game for us. The only way we win this game is if we do what Atlanta is actually susceptible to, is run the ball. But Doug Peterson is from that Andy Reid school where he wants to throw 40 times a game, and he doesn't want to stick to what's our one strength right now. So I don't have any confidence in this game. It was funny. I was
you got like a five-headed monster in the backfield, and you don't want to use it.
Exactly. I was thinking today, I was like, man, I have no excitement right now for this game. Like I wasn't even thinking like, oh, this is playoff week, like I normally am. Like I've already resigned to the fact that this is a one and done playoff season for us, and hopefully we're able to bottle up the magic again. Because I really believe before Wentz went down that this was our year. Everything was lining itself up perfectly for us, and I mean, yet again, we get struck down.
That's something that I never believe, and however it happens, this time I guess they just didn't, the football guys didn't string us along and allow us to choke at full strength. They just said, we're just going to take your MVP candidate right now and just, tear all the hope away from you guys. I still hold out some hope of good performances from Nick Foles, man. I'm just like, I've seen it before, so I know it's in there somewhere. How do we bring it out is a whole other story. So I don't know. Like you said, like I can't really see him like putting us on his back and winning it. I don't think even when he was lighting the league up, I don't think that was ever his MO. I don't think he was just putting us on his back. But right now he has a better team around him, so we don't even need you really to be 2013 Nick Foles. We just need you to be better than the past 2 weeks. I mean, he showed it against the Giants. The people are going to say, well, the Giants are a 2-win team. Yeah, but they're also a 2-win team that everybody was excited about when the season started. They're a division rival. Those games are supposed to be the throw the stats and throw the records out of the window type games. But the last 2 weeks of the season really didn't give me any hope that not hope. I'm not going to say hope because I have some level of hope, but it didn't give me any realistic reason to think, we're just going to go in here and beat this team. And just our luck, the defending NFC champions just happen to be the 6th seed in the playoffs. And we got to play against those guys when we're supposed to get the easy route to the Super Bowl. So, I pretty much think it's one and done. I don't think Nick Foles is going to totally stink, but this is Philadelphia sports here. Even if the quarterback is playing good, we're going to find a way to choke somehow. Hope I'm wrong. There's a lot of Eagles fans probably mad at both of us right now because we're not taking the homer route. But, hey, we're here to call it objectively like we see it. And right now, I see Matt Ryan coming home and making us his biatch. So it's hard to say, but had to be said. All right, so Titans at Patriots. This is the biggest spread of the week. You think there's going to be a blowout like everybody else thinks it's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, the Titans basically needed every bit of luck last week to pull out that game, and they needed Andy Reid to choke the way Andy Reid knows how to do best, which, he lost his number one receiving target and then decided to stop running the ball. So yeah, this isn't even going to be close. Like this is too easy for Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, and this is probably an insult.
They're coming in this game mad too. That's the other thing.
Right, and this here is probably an insult because I know how you feel about Blake Bortles, but I think the Titans have the worst quarterback in the left in the playoffs. But see the difference, and I got to take this back to the Eagles. The difference between even a Titans team and a Jags team, and we saw it and we actually talked about it during the games last week, if their quarterbacks don't have it going, like Nick Foles hasn't had it going the past few weeks, both of those dudes, Bortles and Mariota, can turn to their legs to at least keep their team in the game and make it respectable, if not win the game. We don't have that. We don't have that. I swear Nick Foles might be the slowest quarterback I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some slow quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not with Nick.
Yeah. I mean, with Chip Kelly, we've seen Nick Foles run some read option and actually get first downs. That's because nobody on this flat planet, shout out to Kyrie, ever believed that he was going to keep the ball and run. So they had no respect for it whatsoever. So yeah, you might get 2 first downs a game, letting Nick run the ball, but it's the slowest 10 yards that you're ever going to see in your life. Like, I've never seen a quarterback slower than this dude. So even the teams with worse quarterbacks, in my opinion, still could find themselves in these games because their quarterback has something else in the arsenal to bring out when they're, stinking as far as passing the ball is concerned. But, I think the Patriots are going to pretty much put the Titans out of their misery. And I happen to think it's going to be easy, just like everybody else. I'm tired of saying this type of stuff about the Patriots because, like, when are these dudes going to fall off? But, yeah, this should be a blowout. Then we got the Jags and the Steelers. We talked about it earlier with Gus. This is a revenge game because Ben Roethlisberger threw 5 interceptions against the Jags earlier in the season and was talking like a defeated, retirement-ready quarterback in the press conference after the game. His spirits are much higher as the game approaches us. Do you think they're going to get revenge, or do you think the Jags are going to shock the world and beat them when it really counts?
Hey, man, you know me. I believe in Blake, man. I believe in Blake Bortles. For some reason, I think Blake has one good playoff game in him. And for some reason, I feel like he's going to pull it out this week. I don't know what it is, but I think he's going to pull it out. I mean, last week, like you said, he didn't have it going with the pass. I mean, he looked horrible. He looked like probably the worst throwing quarterback I've ever seen. Like,
then he turned into Michael Vick. People didn't know he had that in him.
He had a black quarterback quit. We didn't know he had. So, I mean, I really, for some reason, think Blake Bortles is going to come out and be on fire. And we're going to look up, and it's like, wait, did Blake Bortles just have 350 yards and 3 touchdowns? Like, did they just beat the Pittsburgh Steelers? Because, I mean, the Steelers are coming off a bye. There's some internal team stuff still. We don't know how Antonio Brown really looks. And I just think that they're right to get picked off by a team that they're probably taking lightly. Like, they are absolutely thinking Patriots right now. They're thinking rematch with Patriots, and they're looking past the Jacksonville team. And I mean, say what you want about.
But they're giving you the lip service that they're not looking past them because they claim, I'm not going to say they claim because they weren't going to say the wrong things, but a lot of reporters this week have been leading them, to that conclusion from the first game, saying, well, did you guys look past them? So while trying to say things in a nice way and say it, in a politically correct way, they've kind of said, yeah, we look past them, and this time we're not going to do that. So
yeah, it's easy. That's easy to say until you start looking at, film of Blake Bortles last week, and you're just like, come on.
Like, we got this. We got this. Hey, man, but
it's legit, man. That Jags defense is legit. I mean, say what you want about Speedy Pie over there, but he's the best option in the right now for Antonio Brown.
I'm about to say he's one of the best, period, right now.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean,
if I had to match up against Antonio Brown, he's probably my first pick at this moment. So,
I mean, Hank, you tell me. You tell me. I mean, he's nice, man. He old man acting like that. You tell me.
Acting like that. He an old
man because I'm locking him up. Dude is nice, man.
Like, yeah, and then they got a good run defense. That pass rush is crazy, and we know, Ben is tough, but if you can get to him, you could definitely cause a lot of fumbles. So I can see some strip sacks on Ben because he always got all them gloves and armor on and stuff, so he don't get a good grip on the ball. Yeah, man, I got Jacksonville, man. Jacksonville with the upset.
Now, shout out to Kyrie again. If there's anybody on this flat earth that you don't have to totally convince about Bortles not being as big of a bum as they think he is, well, I mean, because, we've talked about this. I don't think he's as big as a bum as everybody else thinks he is. I mean, I think you believe that he's a bum, but you believe that he has some games in him sometimes, and this week might be one of those games because, we've seen that. And
Exactly.
the defense, I think, is the best defense left in the playoffs. We already talked about Jalen. So while you don't have to do a lot to convince me, because I do think it'll be a game, but I'm going to have to go with the Steelers on this one. I'm going to have to go with the Steelers because if they beat them again, I just don't even know what to say because you were given the excuse by the media this week. You were given the excuse by the media saying that you overlooked them at a time in the season when, you didn't take the Jags seriously. There's no reason to not take them seriously now. They've made the playoffs. They've advanced in the playoffs. They advanced in the playoffs during a week when they really didn't even play that well. So you better respect this team because they might be coming for you. And shout out to them because we got to play them in London next season, which is crazy.
See, that's
because
what they need to do, Des. That's what they need to do. They need to take Blake Bortles, put him on a flight right now until, put him on a 12-hour flight, to Pittsburgh. Just go around the country, but let him land in Pittsburgh. Make him think he's in England because Blake Bortles in England is deadly.
Right.
That's where he.
You know why though? Because they play over there so much. It's like a home game for him, like a real home game. Because for a while they were just on there. We're just going to send the worst teams in the league over here. We don't care about them. They're just now starting to send half decent teams, and that's the ironic part though. Like we got to finally go play them in London when they're good now, when they got the best defense in the league, and Blake Bortles has a home field advantage in Wembley Stadium like no other.
The only problem with that theory, though, Dev, is that, Blake Bortles actually does have a home, and he's really bad there. So Blake Bortles having a home game doesn't mean anything.
So he need a neutral. He need a neutral spot is what he needs.
Yeah. He's Mr. Neutral. Jimmy Neutral.
All right, so I'm gonna go Steelers, but I'm not surprised at all if anything you say comes to fruition. Saints, I'd be surprised if the Titans did that to the Patriots on the other hand, but nobody here said that, so I don't know why I said that. The Saints at the Vikings. This could be the best game of the weekend. It has the potential to be the best game of the weekend. I'm thinking, and I've been disrespecting this dude a lot. Case Keenum has balled all throughout the season. Every time you think he might falter, he doesn't. I think the Minnesota Vikings wanted him to falter once Teddy Bridgewater got healthy, and he wouldn't give that spot up to Teddy Bridgewater. First of all, I never understood that. Like, Teddy Bridgewater's been out of football for a year and a half, and your team is rolling, and for some reason you want him to play.
Yeah, it's not like Teddy Bridgewater was Tom Brady beforehand either. Like, Teddy was just
Teddy Montana. Yeah, so I didn't understand that whole thing.
So you going with Minnesota? That's what you say?
No, what I'm saying is I've been disrespecting them all year, and this is the time where my disrespect is supposed to come to fruition because what I've been saying all year is like, yeah, they're rolling, but once they get to the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, the cream is going to rise to the top, and cats like Case Keenum are going to show up and just be average. So
that's basically what you said just now too.
I'm not going to go back on it now. I'm also going to give him his props, though. I'm not just going to keep disrespecting the man like that because that was quite disrespectful. But when we were good and people were starting to use that S word with the Eagles and all that kind of stuff, the team that I had started to worry about, because somebody told me one time, like, I don't want to see the Vikings in the playoffs. And I was like, man, I don't care about the Vikings because I just don't see Case Keenum, being that guy in that type of situation. And that was the time when Drew Brees and the Saints had just started to make their moves. Like right now, with him at the helm, with that running game, and their defense playing un-Saint-like, I think they might be the most complete team left. So I think they go into Minnesota and take this game and end up in the NFC Championship game. I mean, I think at this point, I think the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. So
Wow.
If that's my thought, I don't see them losing to Minnesota. So
yeah, you know what?
Who you got in this one?
I can't argue with you. The way that Drew Brees looked last week, it looked like it was just too easy for him. I mean, he was literally he made me believe that I got a shot to be an NFL wide receiver if I could play with Drew Brees. I mean, he was just putting the ball directly on their hands. I mean, Teddy Ginn had no choice but to catch that bomb. And you know, Teddy is, for all his speed, has the worst hands in the league. Like he's like that kid on the black kid on the Little Giants, the one that. But yeah, so for Teddy to be able to do that, I mean, Drew Brees is just amazing. And then, like you said, that was really without the run game being as dominant as we've seen all season. But they have a great run game, so there's really no weakness in their offense right now. So as good as Minnesota's defense is, they're going to have to rely on Case Keenum to score points because the Saints are going to put up points on that Minnesota defense. And,
like you said, they're going to put up enough to make Case Keenum to force his hand. You got to keep up.
Exactly. And, you know, he's been good this year with relying on that defense. And, I mean, he's made plays when he's needed to. But it's a lot of pressure right now. And, you know, eventually, I'm with you. That stagecoach is going to turn back into a pumpkin. And I think this is the week.
All right, so this is my thing because I've always, you know, tried to be a fair man. I'm not even gonna base it all on a win or lose. If Case Keenum balls out, then I will never doubt him again. You know, if he goes out there, lights it up, and they still lose because you just can't keep pace with Drew Brees, which is really hard to do for anybody, then I'll give him his props, and to the point where I will say, Vikings, y'all need to make this dude your real starting quarterback. Like, I'm glad to see the Teddy Bridgewater situation, but Teddy Bridgewater, like, he wasn't that good. This man's going to take you to the playoffs, play well in the playoffs as a number 2 seed, then I'll definitely give him his props. All right, so those are our picks for the NFL divisional round. What would a show be? And I don't know what's taking Jimmy so long because, you know, we stalled for him for like almost an hour. But what would a show be without a ball report? Pause that. But before we get into Jello and Melo's first professional performance, because I'm going to ask you to grade that, Hank, because I know you saw it, we got to talk about the BBB versus the BBB. Now, Big Baller Brand has come under a lot of heat because customers, in this case, we would have to call them prospective customers or we tried type customers. We tried to be customers. They've been complaining to the Better Business Bureau about the business practices of the Big Baller Brand. So, you know, there's like 42 complaints. I saw the list, read some of them. Funniest one I saw, somebody ordered something, 6 weeks go by, they don't get any kind of confirmation. They call the company to ask about their order, and they're told that they're a small baller. I don't get it. Like, you call in to ask about your order and you get insulted. No, they don't say we're checking in on it, where, you know, it's coming, or let me go help you out. They call you names.
No, he was demanding a refund. He was telling them, you a small baller if you're worried about that little bit of money, you know, right now. You should be able to spend that money as a big baller and get these shoes whenever I give them to you. You know?
And that's their way of saying, we ain't got it, so we ain't giving you no refund.
Yeah, exactly. You burnt.
You saw my new house? Come on. You saw my new house.
So that's where I was going. So, you know, you and I both are regular watchers, dedicated watchers of the Ball in the Family show, which I really do recommend for anybody that doesn't watch it. It's actually a really good show. It shows you a different side of LeVar and the family and the boys. I really enjoyed and learned more about them from this show.
And I really hope, Hank, that they can at least get a real solid half an hour show in the coming seriously, like in the coming seasons, because that 15 to 17 minutes, man, I'm hurt after it goes off. It's kind of like when I used to watch Entourage, and that was only 30 minutes. I'd be mad when the credits start rolling. It's definitely a good show. What I think they should stop doing on the show, though, I think they should stop showing these pop-up shops on the show, because you're watching the show and they have all of these people at these pop-up shops and they're just counting money, cash, more cash and more cash. But then you have the people who ordered stuff online and, you know, months have gone by and nobody's gotten their stuff, but they're out here showing you how much cash they're getting. And LeVar's already being sued, by the way, by his T-shirt manufacturer. He supposedly missed some payments on that and is behind $25,000. Meanwhile, I'm sure this T-shirt manufacturer and his staff probably watches the show, sees all this cash that they're counting from your shirts that they're selling. It's just not not a good look. But LeVar is definitely getting rich, no matter what, you know, the business model.
I mean, beyond just the T-shirts, you get to see from the show the new house, the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the vacations that they had never been on before, and it's like, yo.
Oh, and they take the whole family, plus 3 or 4 friends and 3 girlfriends. So
girlfriends, everybody. So I mean, that's where the money went. Like, it don't
Tina's medical equipment, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. But it doesn't take a genius to see that's where the money went. I mean, LeVar obviously doesn't have, you know, an accounting department. He's just putting, you know, one hand, he's putting the money in the pocket, and then, you know, he's spending what's in that pocket. So, but it is frustrating, because what you do see from the pop-up shops and what you do see from all the comments on the Triple B website, not the Big Baller one, the Better Business Bureau. You do get a chance to see that. People really do want to support them. People want to buy this stuff, man. So if they were able to get it together, this could actually be a little bit of a brand that people could get behind, man.
Right. And here's an example of that, Hank. I'm going to read 2 of them. I'm going to read the one that I was all jacking up on the paraphrase. And it was 32 reviews, not 42. I don't want to, you know, blow it up. But the guy, he said, the company does not offer refunds. I purchased 2 items and was told there would be a 1 to 2 week delay. I've been waiting for 6 weeks now. And when I asked why it was taking so long, I was called a small baller. At this point, I believe they have decided to steal my money. That was the funniest part, the last sentence. They're like, I think I'm burnt. Basically, I think I'm burnt. And then here's another one that speaks to your point that you just made, that people actually like them and want to support. This guy says, I'm a big fan of LeVar Ball and Big Baller Brand, so naturally when the Mellow Ball ones came out, I was going to order them. I ordered them in November because the site said shipping by December 23rd. I look on the site on December 24th. It now says shipping by February 23rd. No email from the company or anything. In that same order, I also purchased a shirt, expecting them to ship separately, since the shoes allegedly wouldn't come out for another month. No shirt, no shoes, no nothing. I'm pretty disappointed in spending $450 on the shoes and a shirt. I just want my merch or my money back. So people, you know, his T-shirts cost $50, $60. So this person spent like $500, and I hear they're charging you like $25 for shipping. So this guy spent like $525. Admits that he likes the people personally, but it's like, what can you do when you're just getting burnt like this?
Exactly. And the T-shirt is the most frustrating part, because that should be a one-day shipment thing. I mean, WarRoomSports.com has a T-shirt section, right?
Oh yeah. We gonna ship that to you pretty soon. It might take a week, but it's not gonna take like 4 months for a T-shirt.
Exactly.
Listen, and I'm not complaining. I haven't made a complaint for the Better Business Bureau yet, but I ordered a Big Baller Brand T-shirt on December 24th. So we're gonna see how this goes, and I will report back to y'all later. I might be burnt. I might be burnt. I might not.
What was your shipping date? Did they even give you a shipping date?
Nah, I ain't had no shipping date. I ain't seen no shipping date. So we're gonna see how that plays out. But LeVar, man, like it's obvious that people bang with you. People love what he's doing. So like you can't disappoint these people. And it's crazy to see that little dude over in China get 3 pairs of Zoes when I know some people who ordered some Zoes back in like October that still didn't get them. So that's crazy. I think to get if you're a big fan of the Big Baller brand, you have to be around for a pop-up shop wherever they are. If you're in California, if you happen to be over in Shanghai when Jello over there getting his klepto on, wherever you are, you have to be a part of the pop-up shop, or it's 50-50 whether or not you're going to get your merchandise. Anyway, there was some basketball played. Melo and Jello made their professional basketball debuts with the Lithuanian club. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of it. They actually won the game. This was a part of the Big Baller brand tournament, and anybody who watched the game would have seen there were Big Baller brand logos everywhere. Mid-court, I think there was one on each side of the court. The referees had them on their jerseys. So this wasn't a part of the team's league schedule. This was just a tournament, I think a 5-game tournament or 5 something, but a small tournament put on by the club and LeVar Ball. What did you think? If you were to give these guys grades for their first game, and we have to keep this in mind too, the team that they were playing, it was their junior squad. So actually the people they were playing were all like Melo and Jello's age. Most of them were like 16 to 18 years of age, I hear. But I actually saw some talent on that team, so I'm not just going to dismiss it. These guys probably been playing pro ball since they were like 13. But if you were to give these two guys a grade on that first performance, what would you say?
Yo, I think Hank got disconnected. Put him back in. But I am in the building though.
All right, well, Jimmy, the blueprint definitely. You watched the game, right? You saw the game.
I watched the game. I stopped my busy day during the middle of a day. Hank, you back on, right?
Because we are
So
big baller stands, man. I have no qualms about that. Because some people, they get mad when they hear us criticizing because they act like they don't hear the love part. Like, yo, this is just like any other family member. I tell you when you do something wrong. I tell you when you do something right. But all in all, I love you. and if people knew how to
shout out to the U.S. government for paying for me to watch the game.
How would y'all grade the dudes?
My perspective is this though. I just feel like they have attention, right? So it's all about how they monetize it. In terms of how they play basketball, I mean, they Melo and spots look like at least exciting. I think Hank made the best analogy. I was laughing, but I wouldn't admit it because I'm a LiAngelo fan. But he's like Barkley without Barkley's skill. But
you know what that would make him? That would make him. Y'all remember the boy? Was it Kyle Karcher from Temple?
Yeah, I do remember.
Exactly who he is. He looked like him too. Light skinned boy with curly hair.
Damn sure do. You got but anyway, but the one thing is, I was excited to the point where I got pissed when they came out of the game. I'm like, why am I watching this? When they're not in the game, I don't care about these other dudes. I don't care about these commies. Put the Ball brothers back in, right? So they essentially, like, between the reality show, like the antics, like, I mean, that's not saying much coming from me because I'm the same dude that still watches Love and Hip Hop and Real Housewives. So I'm entertained by a little bit of ratchetness. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll just add this to my reality mix.
Portia got a fatty.
Oh my God, yo! But this, at the end of the day, like, so they're mixing like, my addiction to ratchet TV, and they're adding hoops to it. This is like Hoop Dreams 2.0.
I was about to say Hoop Dreams. Yeah, so that was a ratchet documentary, but that was the greatest documentary in film history.
we talked about it in the group chat, but to me, like Jimmy said, the most surprising thing was how small LiAngelo looked. Dude looked like he's like 6'2" out there. I know they list him as like 6'5", but he looked tiny out there next to those commies.
What do they list LaMelo at?
Yeah, either that or
today.
those guys were taller than we, giving them credit for. Because
No, but
it's
here's
not,
the thing.
it was on Facebook,
What is
so we didn't
LaMelo?
really
What
get
is
to
LaMelo
see, like,
listed at?
a media guide or anything.
I
What is
think
Melo listed?
LaMelo, yeah.
I think he's listed.
I don't know.
6'6".
He don't
he's
play
definitely
nowhere,
legit.
so I don't
Yo,
even know if
he's
he
legit.
listed.
He's legit taller than his brother though. When they walk on the court next to each other,
And his hair.
Yeah, he's got him. He's got him. Not even without the. I mean, without the hair, he's still considerably taller than his brother.
yeah.
And to me, I felt like they both did okay for being their first, game against, that level of talent. Because again, we got to remember these dudes played at Chino Hills. Like they weren't playing the top. They did play a couple of top teams, but they weren't coming from the top division in high school basketball either.
Yeah.
So I think they look good. I think Melo looks like a prospect. If he gets in the weight room, works on his handle, continues to develop, I think he can definitely be somebody that the NBA would take a look at. I don't think LiAngelo has any shot. He really only started doing well when Melo's in the game. It's like he's so nervous and so shy. He only accepts passes from his own brother. Like he's not a full person.
Shoot, real talk. I think his brother was the only one willing to pass him the ball. But
he's like a side
Yo.
kid. Like he's
Jello
I'm gonna tell
legend,
you,
though,
like,
man.
Bobby.
Future Hall of Fame.
Yo, I don't know. I'm starting to think Melo is the biggest legend out of all three because Melo has something that like even Zoe doesn't have. Melo will pull from anywhere, and it's to the point where it's kind of funny. Like, dog, you really
he
gonna
came
shoot
in
that
the
from
game
there?
and pulled from 35. First play of the game.
It is no
first-
hesitation. There's no hesitation. See, and the thing is, he also has vision the same way his brother does. But his brother be scared to let it go. He will not. He's not scared at all. He let that thing fly. Good battering.
See, now,
it might not hit
I always
nothing.
talk about him being frail and all that kind of stuff. Now, I ain't gonna front. They kind of threw us the okie doke because, it was always, well, we'll wait and see if they can play against grown men. But they really didn't get to play against grown men yet.
Yeah.
So, and even in this league period, the European leagues are usually not that physical. So being frail might not be a deterrent in those leagues. So we still gonna have to wait if he ever gets to the big show, to see, since he's not gonna go to college. There's some dudes in college that could test you as well, but we won't get to see if that's gonna derail his career or not, because you had frail dudes coming from over there that were stars, like a Ricky Rubio and cats like that. So I don't know. I think I don't have a letter grade for him, but I think both of them did well. I think it took Jello a little while to settle into the game. I think he wanted to, since he started and Melo didn't, I think he was just trying to get the approval of his teammates and try to do everything within the flow. And then Melo gave him some confidence because he came in like, I don't care.
Yeah. Melo
so he ended up with 19 points. Melo ended up with 10 and a couple of highlights, though.
Melo came in and he immediately felt that he was the best player on the court. Like,
Right.
and I couldn't. I mean, there were actually some good prospects there. They had a couple big guys. They had some dudes with some ups. But I think Melo was probably the best prospect on that court, considering age and everything else. And like you said, his shot was off, but we've also seen him make those crazy shots too. So if he can,
I mean, we've seen him score 72
points.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't he score like 90-something points one time?
Had that vision, he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, we've seen him score crazy points, 70s, 90s, whatever. So
My man
he
put up
definitely,
90s. What the hell's wrong with him?
Yeah, he put up 90, dog.
Yeah, he played, and he still didn't play any D. He faked it though. He faked it well in this game. He wasn't.
He
just
went hard on D. Like
lazy.
two possessions, he went extremely hard on D, and then like fell back.
Right. You'll see him once his man passes him. There's no effort left whatsoever.
Yo,
there were a
crazy
few
though,
times
because
where
like the two
stepped up
times
and
he started to
tried
lock
hit
down, the two times he tried to lock down, he actually looked good though. I'm like, he locked
But
down
that's
twice.
what shows you, Jeff. It's the same thing with everybody that we say can't play defense. Defense is an effort thing. All of these dudes are big enough and skilled enough to play defense. Is whether or not you want to play defense.
Yo, my man like got serious for 2 possessions. I was like, oh, he can play D, and then all of a sudden he started acting like Jay-Z when he lost the 92 bricks. Like after that, it was a wrap.
Fell back. Yeah, like a cat like Vince Carter. As athletic as he is, come on, if he wanted to, Vince Carter should be able to put the clamps down on anybody. But he ain't about that life. He ain't about that life at all. So
factuals.
I saw some hustle in Jello though. He had some post moves for a little fake Barkley, fake Mark Karcher. I called him Kyle Karcher. It was Mark Karcher.
Mark Karcher. I just remember the name Karcher, and because I was like, man, I rooted for him to and he got a tryout. I think with the Sixers, they was looking out for John.
Yeah, you know how they do that. Temple guys get called to the down to the. Back then, not the Wells Fargo, the First Union Center.
For First Union or Germantown Savings, whoever had the right at the time.
Core State Center back then. Yeah. You get called down there for the tryout. But, it's just for John. This one's for John.
Yo, that was trash. I'm like, you waited all season for you, and that's what you gonna hit us with? This one's for John.
Yeah, that was weak. It didn't even sound hype. Like,
not at all. It sounded like trash.
Yeah. Like nobody said woo after that because it was corny. You know how they like to say woo.
Yeah, I mean it was real trash. It wasn't like your man. Anything's possible. Like that's legendary.
Yeah, that's definitely legendary. But all
right,
so
this one's for John.
That's the ball report. The title was real. Jalen Ramsey, the ball report. I mean,
yo, that video where the ball was like in different yo. What about you,
Hank? I don't know if you watched any of those, but just go to Jalen Ramsey parody videos on YouTube, and you'll have the hardest laugh.
Oh, you know I saw those.
Yo, did you see the light skin boy? Like when he be doing something, the next time he flash back, his shirt is off.
You tell me.
Yeah, like
you tell me.
Got pulled over by the cops, right?
Yeah. You tell me. You tell me.
Yeah. Tell me. You know how fast you were going? You tell me. All right, man. Stat of the week. And this is a negative stat of the week, but I don't want y'all to think I'm hating on the homie because I actually figured we should talk about this for a different reason. I was going to take this time to defend the homie. LeBron James, against the Timberwolves earlier in the week, put up his lowest plus-minus of his career, which was a minus 39. So, of course, the people who want LeBron to fall off is like, uh-oh, is LeBron falling off? And he had 10 points. That was his worst scoring performance since 2007. I got to give a shout out to our brother and co-host B. Austin because he tried it with this. We were in some conversations about LeBron James with some LeBron James stans about a totally different topic, and then he comes on and throws a meme of this plus minus as if it was some kind of proof for what he was saying about LeBron James. So, everybody thinks, especially when we're on social media, that we all stick together and it's just this war room sports against y'all. But I had to call B. Austin out on that one because if you're going to try to say something negative about LeBron, this is probably the very last thing you could go to because he's actually dominated this statistic, this plus-minus statistic, damn near since he's been in the league. So for him to have not one bad season of plus-minus, but to have one bad game of plus-minus, that is not ammunition for any argument against LeBron James. Did y'all see any footage from this game or highlights or anything?
No, but man, like picking one regular season game is like ridiculous when, everybody knows LeBron doesn't even care about regular season games.
I told B that I'm like, yo, you're like, because there were some egregious things being said on that thread from LeBron stans. But I told him, yo, you just basically stooped to their level. Like, you're just as bad as them if you thought this meme of him having a minus 39 plus minus in one regular season game with any kind of rebuttal to anything that the stands were just saying. I was like, you look just like them.
Yo,
so how Jimmy and I always
disgusting.
talk about, like, LeBron stands,
on both
LeBron
sides, yo.
haters are both the most annoying people in the world.
Every
That was a pure example.
every actual great player or public figure is like that, because it's the same thing with Kobe stands versus haters, same thing with Jordan stands versus haters. It's disgusting on both sides, man, and we all know the truth lies somewhere in the middle. But y'all disgusting.
Oh, disgusting though. Yeah, I mean it's stands versus haters. Period. Like you said, anything you want to talk about, any polarizing subject, person, or whatever, people on each side are going to say the craziest things to prove their points. And we're also doing this thing, and we're going to get more into that lately. We're also doing this thing like when we are talking about somebody, we automatically have to throw somebody else under the bus to make our point.
Yo, shout out to your president. Your president set that up, yo. They be like, why did you do
somebody
X,
has to
Y,
be
Z?
thrown under the bus.
Yo, they be like,
have
Trump,
this
what
conversation.
about the emails? Yeah, what about the emails, though? Like, what about the emails? Like,
Yeah. All right, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. LeBron's worst game in forever, and people who dislike him trying to use that for him to be a bum.
The thing about that stat was that a plus minus is like the worst thing to use for somebody like LeBron that plays 40 minutes a game, and like he had a bad game, and then he sat out in the fourth quarter when his team was able to cut the lead after being blown out by like 30 points. So it's going to skew the stats.
And NBA teams always cut the lead a little bit because the other team put their bums into it. So
I'm going to tell you why it's the worst thing to use. It's the worst thing to use minus in basketball.
Say that again. You were breaking up a little bit. Uh-oh.
Jimmy's just about to talk something important.
Yeah, I don't know what he was saying, but no.
Therefore,
like I said, oh, there you go. He's still talking. I don't hear him.
Yeah, he done gave a whole thesis, and we ain't got none of it.
Yeah, Jimmy killing it right now. He's gonna be mad as hell when he figure out nobody heard it. But I think it's the worst thing in the world to use strictly because we're talking about the person who dominates this category. Like, I'm not an analytics nerd or anything, by those means, but this is the person who dominates this category. So you can't use that. Not after one game, you can't. All right, so real quick, before we get into what happened this week while y'all were on the grind and Jimmy works out his technical issues, y'all can check out our website at warroomsports.com. While you're there, make sure you take your time, look around. We got merchandise. You can click on the Contact Us tab to send us a message about the company, the show, to inquire about sponsorship and advertising opportunities, joining the network, or whatever. For general inquiries, you can email us, info@warroomsports.com. What we talked about earlier, while you're browsing the short site, make sure you click on the memorabilia tab, because you can buy some War Room Sports merchandise, and you will get it in a timely fashion. It will not take 2 to 4 months for you to get this merchandise. You can click the blog tab to read our latest articles. We spoke about Gus Griffin's article about John Gruden that just went up today, so make sure you go check that out. And then you can click the respective icons and tabs to follow all our social media platforms, subscribe to our iTunes podcast, to watch our webcast at War Room Sports TV, to download our free War Room Sports mobile app on Android or iOS, or but you can do that and get everything I just mentioned right there on the go on your own little device. So join the JW Philly Realty chat room right now during the show. That's blogtalkradio.com/The War Room. To enter the chat room, just sign up for a free profile on Blog Talk Radio. If you don't feel like doing that, you don't have to. You can click follow once you're there, but you can also sign on to there from your Facebook and your Twitter accounts. We'll be taking questions, reading posts from the Facebook, Twitter. I said the Facebook, like we back at Harvard with Zuckerberg. Twitter chat room, the War Room Sports Game Time group on the GroupMe app, all of that during the show. But if you want to call in and speak with us, the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline is open. That number is 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. But if you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. All right, Jim. Yeah, I think you were.
Man.
You were spilling some sports.
Yeah, I know. Toe got me, man.
Anybody heard?
All I was saying is to use that statistic for LeBron is crazy, considering historically he has one of the best plus minuses in the history of this thing of ours. So
right.
that's why
that's
basically stupid.
The same point that I was making. I'm like, this is the wrong dude to try to go there with, but but B tried it, and we gotta hold him to task just like we would anybody else. But other than that, everybody was talking crazy on that site, and of course, to big up LeBron, you got to totally trash Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. So there was a lot of trashing going on that particular thread. All right, so Jimmy, you want to let everybody know what happened this week while they were on the grind?
Absolutely. And for those who may have been living under a rock while you happen or have never heard the show, which means you're crazy, While You On the Grind is brought to you by DirecTV. If you like a better TV experience than Cable has to offer, which includes several sports packages, go to DirecTV.com and get yourself DirecTV, because if you're a sports fan, how can you not watch sports? Therefore, go to DirecTV.
I think a lot of them don't. I digress.
Yeah, I mean, this is the world, but everything is going to be on like Twitter or Facebook soon. But anyway, at any rate,
shout out to Skyview in the chat room. The Ball brothers have no shot of playing in the NBA.
Damn. I don't know, yo. LaMelo is talented, man. LaMelo's a legend, man. Tell him to stop hating on LaMelo, B. Funny thing is, I was watching Zion Williamson highlights because I have never seen highlights like that from a high school player. And that includes LeBron, Kobe, and everybody else. Like, wild boys.
Yeah, his
like
high school highlights, but like Vince Carter NBA highlights.
Why is he 280 and like 6'5" and jumps over the backboard? But even beyond that, the game they played against LaMelo held his own. I mean, they got killed on the boards, but LaMelo was holding his own, pulling up from half court. Anyway,
my one more question from the Game Time group before you move on, Jim. Casey Mack says, does the big ball attorney prove that he may be able to pull off his own league in the United States? I can answer that, and I'm still thinking, I mean, he's going to make a league, yeah. I mean, that's probably not that difficult, but a league probably to the extent that we're thinking, I don't think this proves it. He might be able to do it, but I don't think this proves it, because I heard LeVar talking, and he was like,
here's my thing.
They were willing to put, they put Big Baller Brand all over the stuff. So it really sounded like he might not have paid what a sponsor would pay to do this, but they just happened to do it because he let them sign his son. So I don't even know if he really put that together, or if they were just.
Here's my thing, right? Here's my thing, Casey Mack. I'm part of the Triple B gang. I want them to do well. For a lot of reasons. But at the same time, if my man can't get the logistics right of selling T-shirts, how's he going to run an entire league? I mean, I just really need someone to explain that to me.
Jimmy is real perturbed about this T-shirt turnaround time.
Because that bothers me. That bothers me to no end. Like, dog, you're selling T-shirts essentially. Like, the sneakers one thing, but you can't get a T-shirt order right. He could have set up on Shopify.
Basement, man. His crib big enough.
Yeah, and then I mean, he really just. This Europe thing is like a weekend AAU tournament. Like it's not the equivalent of a league. I mean, it just shows that he could do a league in which people get paid on time, in which people are able to have their flights booked and everything like that. That's not.
This is what I'm saying.
I think
it all goes to logistics.
On Facebook because Zuckerberg already banged with them. So,
running a business, man, like at that scale, everybody's not meant to run a business, and there's nothing wrong with that. But running it at that scale, when you're talking about having to have flights booked and people in certain places at certain times, that's very, very difficult. And if you can't get a T-shirt order right to somebody ordering, in California, there's people in California who are complaining, that's where they're headquartered. What are you doing? So
you can drive
I just don't,
He got Denise and Tina and them running.
But I'm like, come on, Kaka.
The ratings. Did you see the ratings? The ratings were kind of crazy. I think they said at one point they had about 125,000 people tuned in on Facebook watching it. I don't know what the typical
in the middle of the day.
I expected more. Seriously, like you could put
like North
those
Dakota
two
State.
guys debut on
North
ESPN
Dakota,
and they would have got good ratings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder like, if North Dakota State plays a regular game, a regular college basketball game, do you think they're pulling 125,000 viewers? Or somewhere in some small time college? I don't think so, man. Like those
I want to see
big numbers.
I want to see the ratings of the Sixers Celtics game. That was in the middle of the day. I just can't see a lot of people, being able to watch that. So people went out of their way to see this joint. I know I shared the link with a lot of people. So shout out to them. But like Jimmy was saying, though, it's not like promotion, marketing, ratings. That's not the stuff that LeVar Ball gets wrong. You know what I'm saying? He gets that part absolutely right. But you got to deliver on what you're promoting. So he definitely got to do better with his T-shirt business. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so what happened this week, man?
Oh, yeah. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the coolest monkey in the jungle. H&M, with their ad, drew a bunch of attention. With the young black man, the young king in his hoodie, it said coolest monkey in the jungle, and some people didn't take too kind to that. His mother, I saw her response, and she's like, what's the big deal? I don't even know what the big deal is. Like,
that's funny.
And part
Jim,
of me thinks
because
that,
the first thing a lot of people said, well, we talking about H&M. We need to see, why would his mom let him do this? But the first thing I saw was black people coming to his mom's defense. Well, we don't know, black women, of course. We don't know if she would, I heard all kinds of excuses. Like, people take, in those type of shoots, they take a bunch of pictures, and his mom might not have been there to sign off for all of them, but then she come out and basically throw them under the bus. The people that's defending her, like, y'all need to get over this. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and I think part of it is like a ethnicity thing, because I don't think she's American. And a lot of times we don't get, why we would be offended by that.
Her name is Terry Mango.
And again, for
I
me,
don't know
I didn't get
exactly
all up in arms. Like, I didn't get all up in arms going on social media. I didn't turn into a social justice warrior. I definitely didn't do that. Because for me, all this is like more proof that we don't have people in the room. Because, sort of like I said with the last situation, like, it has to be more of us in the room making these decisions. That's the only way you can change. You know what I mean? Like, or... And another thing, too, what's up with everybody? Let's boycott them. Like, why boycott? Just stop buying altogether. Like, we going to boycott until they, do what? And then what?
Right. That's what people don't realize. Like, boycotts pretty much end most of the time, don't they? Like, boycotts have an end to them. There's an end game to that. So they apologized, and they took the shirt out of, the stock. It's out of the rotation. So, like you said, then what? Like, we just, I can't rock with H&M anyway. They don't make clothes for dudes my size, but.
Exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
So, but for the people who seem upset about this because, maybe they just lost, 3/4 of their wardrobe or something, like, what's their end game on this whole thing?
Man, listen, man. I truly believe in the free market. Like, I don't even care if they meant this and they wanted that message out there. Cool. I ain't gonna buy it.
Right.
I really believe that way. Like, let the market dictate what it is. If enough people buy that and they're not offended by it, then so be it. Like, I'm on something completely different, man. But it was interesting the way that it took hold of social media and everybody giving their perspective. Like, these days on social media, I just sit back and read now, and I just get amused by people's thoughts. Because
a lot of
some
people,
of y'all need help.
And of course, a lot of people spoke from, and you mentioned this a little bit when you first started talking to them, because a lot of people mentioned this, and they were speaking out from an African American standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Where we've gone through things in this country having to do with being compared to monkeys and stuff like that. Now, I'm not even saying this to get the company off the hook, because it's a Swedish company. and they're selling. You have to be aware of where you're selling products and where your ads are going. So yeah, if you don't want to offend, a good portion of your American market, then you can't do this type of thing. But speaking from his mom's perspective, wherever they're from, this must not be, or may have never been a problem for them, because either she got a nice shake, or she's just like seriously, like I don't understand what y'all are all up in arms about. But maybe it was the check. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, black people have been monkeys all around the world, man. So she got from somewhere where they refer to us as monkeys sometimes too. But I mean, like I'm with Jimmy, man. It's like, look, either stand behind these products or support your own, man. Until we build our own infrastructure, until we build our own, this stuff is always going to happen, man, because we're not in the room.
Listen, man,
we're not that are making these decisions. So I mean,
it's time in the words of the great in the words of the great prophet Marlo Stanfield, man, either do it or don't. I got somewhere to be. Like, it's really just that simple. Like,
and I don't know why I find it so hilarious that over there on that part of the world they call hoodies jumpers. Like, you talking about?
Yo, what is that even about? Like, yo, that doesn't make no
his
sense.
Mom said,
of course,
she said, "I'm the mum." You talk like that too. I'm the mum, and this is one of hundreds of outfits my son has modeled. Stop crying wolf all the time. Unnecessary issue here. Get over it. And she said, if I bought that jumper and put it on him and posted it on my pages, would that make me racist? I get people's opinion, but they are not mine. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to check.
Anyway. Listen, if she like it, I love it. I mean, that's her boy. Like, you know what I mean? If she like it, I love it. Just like, yo, either stop shopping there or don't. Like, either do it or don't. I got somewhere to be. Like, shout out to Marlo. Anyway, something else happened while you were on the grind is talking about your president, who we just talked about a little while ago. He visited the college national championship game. He tried to sing the national anthem. He didn't know the bars, so he still did.
How did you not know the bars? You're the president. I bet you Oprah know them bars.
Oprah trash. Yo, so
but you Cardi knows
he ain't know the bars. It's kind of hilarious. I mean, I was laughing at the amount of people cheering for him, but it wasn't surprising. Shout out to the Bull Connor Bowl. I know I got on late. Hopefully, I missed the bias.
Yeah, you did.
But
he was excited.
That was intentional.
The bias don't get in the rare.
That was intentional.
He always crazy.
Yeah, that was intentional. Shout out to you, Tobias, if you still listen, man. It's all love, and I ain't gonna hear you talk that talk. I mean, when you do that, they win. Anyway, what y'all think about Trump though?
First of all, I heard that he had a lot of people outside of the game pissed off because his little entrance, with all the security that a president has to have with him and all the hoopla when they go places, there were people who were outside that couldn't get in the game for like 30 to 60 minutes. And a lot of them got in the game into their seats probably like just in time for kickoff when they were trying to be in there pretty early to, I guess, see the fights and do whatever they wanted to do. So there were a lot of people upset about that. But once he was in there, like you said, there was a lot of cheers, of course, a smattering of boos. But I just find it, with all the controversy surrounding Donald Trump and whether or not he even really wants to be the president or if he's just proving a point, like, how do you go in there and you don't know the words to the national anthem? Like, first of all, just don't lip sync the joint, especially if you don't know it. But you say things like that to Donald, he doesn't care. You forget who you're talking about.
He literally.
I think the dude that goes to war with the NFL players that don't stand for the national anthem, and you don't know the words.
You don't even know the words. Like, come on. You're defending a song that you don't know the words to.
Exactly. Like,
he literally might be the biggest gangster in the history of the world. Like, he does whatever he wants. He says whatever he wants. Like, that's just what he does. Like, he literally said, like in facts don't matter. Like, yo, you should do this. No, I shouldn't.
Yo, I can't defend back that thing up if I ain't singing along with Judy. Like, come on, man. You know the words. But like Hank said, he went to war with a whole league of black people, basically. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. So that was wild, man. You know what I mean?
It was a big deal, though, because, he hadn't really shown up to any sporting events since he's been the president. And it's interesting that this is the one he picks because, like Jimmy keeps calling it, it's the Bull Connor Bowl, the Jim Crow Bowl. You get these two. Yeah. He pretty much knows that, these two schools, these two states that these schools represent are, a big portion of his constituents. So
I guarantee he won't show up at the NBA Finals.
Probably not.
Yo,
probably not.
Hey, Tobias, Alabama is rooting for Alabama. You might as well just wear that H&M hoodie. There's no difference. Anyway, let's talk. Speaking of NBA Finals, I know you guys saw this because it was shared in our group chat. The Ohio Boys Rec B-Ball League. A team was booted for their offensive jerseys. Like, they literally had jerseys that said Negro, KNEEGROW. They had Coon and all sorts of disrespectful names on the back of their jerseys. And, they got booted for it. And like, wow. It's funny because, like, you know this kind of stuff goes on, but when you see it, you're like, damn, really? You gonna let your hands go like that?
Yeah, the funny thing, though, I read the article on that. When they got kicked out, that wasn't even the first game that they played with all of this on. So did people really care? Or because I heard that they were, like, obnoxious. They were playing a little rougher than people expected for them to be playing in this league. I mean, I really read that this was a league where you're supposed to have fun, and they didn't even really take the score seriously if they kept score at all. Mm-hmm. So they said, these guys had bad attitudes. They were pushing people. Somebody ended up with like a bloody nose or something at one point. And this wasn't the first game that they played. So did they really take offense to the shirts that they had on, or they just used that as a reason because they were in here bullying the rest of the league? That's my question going in. But yeah. And it's obvious that there couldn't have been any black people in this league. Couldn't have been.
Yeah, exactly. Not at all. Because even when the coach said something, like, he didn't apologize. He was like, "Oh, all right, I thought they was gonna let us just come back later, but no." So it is what it is. Like, he didn't apologize.
Right. Because the team was called the Wet Dream Team. The Wet Dream Team. And
come on, man. Come on.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they used something they really didn't care about, something that they probably all laughed at when the league started. But, since they were getting bullied and, these guys were out here doing this kind of stuff, what better way to not look like a punk, but to try to take our plight all of a sudden, because I'm pretty sure there were no black people in this league.
I'm coming to the big ball. I'm coming to the big baller brand league and wear that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't want that sauce, man. But man, listen, man. Did LeBron speak on this? Because it was Ohio, so they got to ask Bron.
Bron probably need more information before he.
I think Bron.
Well, there ain't no cops involved, so he probably speak out on it.
Yeah. Welcome home, Kevin Gates. By the way, Kevin Gates just came home yesterday. Anyway,
he was locked up again.
Hood. Why have he been locked up for like a year at this point?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Because remember, I stopped messing with him, so I,
Yeah.
After he was talking that coon talk, I stopped messing with him.
Yeah, he
was
talking, I'm the type of individual. Yeah, he went all out for a good couple of weeks, but then he got locked up again. Anyway,
I did not know he was down.
Yesterday,
Two Phones was like my favorite song of that year.
I got 2 phones. Anyway, I'm off for let's talk about your man Rodney Hood. Man, Rodney Hood got ejected, and he was very emotional fan was trying to take a picture of him with his phone. My man straight slapped his phone off his head.
Rodney.
Yo, man, Rodney Hood, man. This is not why we play, man.
The question
Rodney.
is, what would y'all have done? What would you have done if you was that fan? That's the question.
I would have, because I couldn't just say I would have picked it up because the phone flew. So you would have had to run and go get the phone. I would have ran and got the phone because he after he did it, he just walked to the tunnel. So I would have ran and got the phone and just tried to hum it at his head. Like, it might not have been the greatest
I ain't gonna hold you,
decision because the boy like 6'7", 6'8", but
exactly very athletic.
But
I ain't gonna hold you, right? I'm at an age now where like I ain't trying to fight nobody for real. But I ain't gonna front like I wouldn't have faked the funk. I would have did one of them joints where somebody hold me back type fight. I'd have like made my way towards him.
Yeah, throw the phone and then step into a crowd of people. Like, I mean, I'd act like I threw the phone so hard that my momentum of throwing the phone took me straight into this crowd of people that's happened to be surrounding me right now when he's coming back. But
I'd have got up, I'd have ran towards him and called him all kinds of BAN. And I did it like I would have positioned myself where there was a guard in front of me, so like I really ain't gotta do nothing, but I can fake the funk like I'm tough.
Yeah, it was crazy though, because you saw his frustration building before he got ejected. It was one of those things where you can go back, if you weren't watching the game, you can actually go back and watch highlights and be like, I can see right now, like he's trying to go, like he doesn't want to play anymore. So he goaded the referee into getting him up out of there, and then wild out before he left the floor. So what do y'all think the punishment for that type of thing will be?
I think they already hit him. Didn't they give him like $25,000 or something like that?
Did they? I don't think so.
Did they already find him?
I'm looking for it now.
No, because I know they said.
They may have. Cause
they said that Austin Rivers, DeMarcus Cousins, and Kyrie have already been fined $25,000 each for using profanity in exchanges with fans. The guy actually tried to push for police action, quote unquote police action. So he tried to press charges. He slapped my phone out of my hand.
Police action.
You know that?
Yeah, no, you're right.
He tried to get him beat up.
Yo, for a black man, that's murder.
Yeah.
and Rodney,
you trying to get him murdered over your cell phone?
Possibly.
Rodney Hood 6'7". Just so that we know what we're talking about, pretending we're going to fight. He's a 6'7", very angry, athletic young man, 25-year-old. I probably do that. I'm probably like, yo, come on, man. I'm just so loud. Yo, you lucky. But,
But then
I don't let my cuss hands fly.
When he's angry enough to turn around when you scream, yo, and come back like, what? He's like, uh-oh.
He got that long reach. And he a good shooter. He accurate, too. He probably punch me right in the temple, knock me out, man. I'm good.
I just tried to tackle him and hope security did their thing. I found a way to get a case.
It's one of them things, man. That's when you get your Barkley on, basically, like he did with Shaq. Like, yo, I ain't gonna humble you. I'm just gonna tackle you and have everybody break us up.
Yeah, yeah,
no doubt. All right, Rodney, you wilding though. I'm waiting for the punishment to come down on him. But real quick, birthday shout outs. We only have one, and that's a rest in peace shout out. So the birthdays real quick are brought to you by Digital Extreme Technology. Do you or your business need a custom website? Well, for dynamic, professional, and most of all, affordable custom website solutions, you need Digital Extreme Technologies. No need to break the bank for an effective online presence. Top quality, results-driven websites at incredibly affordable prices. And yes, financing options are available. So visit digitalextremetech.com. Call 267-205-4203. And for discounted rates, if you need that hookup, just make sure you tell them that the guys from War Room Sports sent you.
Birthday,
So I just want to give a quick rest in peace shout out to Daryl Dawkins, a.k.a. Chocolate Thunder. Come on, Daryl. Call him a grown man delicious. He was born January 11th, 1957, passed away too soon, August 27th, 2015. So we'd like to give a nice War Room salute to the homie Daryl Dawkins on what would have been his birthday. Shout out to Daryl Dawkins. Backboard breaking Daryl Dawkins. So before we get into this hoops talk, you guys know the deal. You can check out our website at warroomsports.com. If you want to call in and speak with us about any NBA topics, dial the Digital Extreme Tech hotline right now, 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. This thing of ours.
Yeah. Listen, man, it's time to talk about this thing of ours, and that is brought to you by Audible. If your schedule is too hectic to read as much as you want, or if you're Floyd Money May, you may just want to get audiobooks and have someone else do the reading for you. You can do that by going to audibletrial.com and get your free audiobook. Right now, I'm listening to a Dan Brown novel, The Lost Symbol, and that joint is crazy. Like, Hank, you think with Dan Brown? Where Hank go? Anyway.
Yeah. I read the Da Vinci Code. I haven't read his other ones though, but this one's good. Lost Symbol.
Yeah. But this joint is pretty much a continuation of that whole story from the Da Vinci Code. But it's called The Lost Symbol. It's pretty good, man. But definitely do. And they're actually filming this movie right now. Shout out to Tom Hanks just for being around and not touching nobody. But you know what I mean. So with that being said, you can get the Dan Brown novel at audibletrial.com.
Paying some effective hush money.
Before Tom Hanks come out, man. I seen the way he touched Jenny's boob, you know.
Jenny.
This out of this whole Me Too thing, I think the craziest thing out of all this is when they went at your man Kevin Spacey and his response. Because to me, I'm still trying to figure out why nobody make a big deal out of that being his response.
What's wrong with Kevin Spacey?
Like, how is that your response? Like, you touch little boys. I'm gay. Huh?
We said.
So that justifies it. Anyway,
a pedophile.
No one made a big deal out of it. Anyway, man.
Gates Witter.
I'm a Kevin Spacey fan too, man.
Yo, that's the thing. How can I watch Usual Suspects? Verbal Kim is dead now.
You tell me. You tell me,
man.
You're a grown man.
Pause it.
I'm Kaiser.
Me Hollywood dudes.
Yeah, it's about to be a whole new Hollywood.
Listen, man.
Seriously, run by women.
It definitely is. Because when I watched that show the other night, it was nothing but full of women, people of color. We had all kinds of ethnicities in there. I was like, Tom is definitely up.
Yeah, but the white man was getting all the awards though. The white man was getting all.
Here's what they're gonna do though. They're just gonna fall to the back and keep all their power because they still own every studio. They ain't letting the ownership go. It's gonna turn into the NBA. Like y'all can play out here in front of the camera, but guess what? That's all it is. It's like, remember the NBA used to be like that too, and then all of a sudden they realized that, they can't compete with us in front, so he's going to fall back. Y'all never get in these positions, though. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about the NBA.
Yeah.
Listen, man, NBA coaches are starting to let their hands go in reference to this whole, Ball Walton saga because he keeps taking shots at Bill Walton, and the coaches just pretty much are getting fed up with it. And Steve Kerr, I think, had the greatest point of all, basically saying, it's not Ball's fault, it's not Walton's fault, it's not even the media's fault. It's the fact that people want to see this. I mean, this is the world we live in.
Society.
Where
it's culture.
People, it's society. And I agree completely. I come to that conclusion when it comes to the music. People say, oh, man, music, people want to hear that stuff. They want to hear mumble rap. That's what's going to come out.
Shout out to Luke Walton, though, because he has a sense of humor about it. Because somebody asked him in a press conference the other day, why did you take Ball out in the first quarter and the third quarter, the points that you did? He was like, his dad was talking shit, so I took him out. I was like, okay, Luke. Luke let his joke hands go. He probably wasn't joking, though. He I'm going to make you suffer.
He probably wasn't. Yeah, man.
But
so what do you
there's a
guys
lot
think?
of coaches
How long
out
can it
there.
last? So what's going to happen with this?
I don't know. I mean, because they already made rules to change the access that LeVar Ball had, and the fact that the media was going straight to him after games while he was in like their locker room or on their court, criticizing the team. This is something like, I don't know. It's like I don't feel sorry for them because this is a situation where you kind of knew what you were getting when you were going to draft this guy. So I guess they thought because he always wanted his kid to be a Laker, you know, we don't have to worry about his loud mouth ever criticizing the Lakers. But, you know, we already knew that LeVar was a coach killer, so he's going to try his hand on the NBA level as well. If he don't think he likes who's coaching his son, he's going to speak up about it. So Magic going to have to.
What makes it so difficult to root for him, man?
Yeah, they're trying to make it so that, you know, ESPN doesn't cover him and the local media doesn't cover him, but it's impossible now. Like, nowadays, you know, you don't need to be interviewed by a reporter in order to get your thoughts and feelings out there. Like, LeVar got more Twitter followers than most of these newspapers have anyway. So LeVar go out there and start tweeting and saying something crazy, it's going to get covered. It's going to get circulated. Like, he is who he is. They knew who he was when they drafted his son. And, you know, honestly, he brought some attention to the Lakers when they're having a dry season. Nobody really cares about them this year. They're bad.
Pretty much. If not for LeVar, it'd be even worse. And the crazy part is, it's funny how much stock is put into, like, your following on social media, right? Because you can demand certain things in terms of, like, monetarily based upon your followers. And I was laughing when they said, when they were talking about signing LaMelo to play over there, and one of the reasons they signed him was his Instagram followers. They said that LaMelo has more Instagram followers than the whole country. Like that country.
That goes back to my point when I was answering Casey Mack's question. Like, I really don't think LeVar put that together. I think they're so grateful to have people on the team that's going to get them some attention that they're willing to do just about anything for these guys right now. So that's promoting your brand, you know, on our court for this tournament. That's what we're going to do, and call it your tournament.
And just a quick side note. We have a lot of people who listen to our show who are in business, have their own businesses or whatever, and you guys can attest to what I'm getting ready to say. There's a difference between being a good or even a great businessman and leveraging pretty much your popularity, right? Now, you still have to be smart enough to leverage your popularity, so you do get points for that. But it doesn't make you a genius businessman. You're not putting together, like, major deals. You're just leveraging the fact that you're popular and you're getting in it. But the thing is, it's not shot. You're getting paid for that. But you're not, and you know, if you can't get T-shirts from A to B, then, you know, that's a whole. Anyway, let me stop. Let me go. This pissed me off, though. It's really pissing me off. I got to get you guys' perspective on this. We got about 10 minutes left. But I want to know what you guys think about LeBron and Curry all of a sudden taking a lead in their respective conferences in the second NBA All-Star fan voting returns. Like, is this fishy, or, like, do you really believe this? Because everyone is speculating this is who he wants to be a captain.
The fishy. I mean, they definitely didn't want Giannis Antetokounmpo as one of the people, because nobody can pronounce his name. He don't speak that well. You know what I mean? Like, it had to be LeBron Curry. They're just positioning for what they expect to be the finals matchup coming up in June.
Yeah, I'm so mad that I'm hearing this, though. Like,
not even the finals matchup, because, you know, Kevin Durant was who Curry overtook. Kevin Durant, as good as he is, you know, that could have been in most people's opinion, the top two players in the league. So really, that would have only been right if it was LeBron and Kevin Durant. But Kevin Durant is not the league's type of superstar right now. We already talked about how he's way past his years as far as being an ornery old veteran player. Kevin Durant has a problem with everybody and everything in the league. He curses during the press conferences and stuff like that, and it's not the endearing type of curses that LeBron does. When this situation, this whole thing was invented, Hank, I think they had their minds on this needs to be LeBron and this needs to be Steph Curry. They've been the two most popular players in the league putting Curry in that mix.
Yeah,
maybe
two
in the
most
last
marketable
3 or
players.
4 years. Yeah, it's exactly who they had in mind. Giannis, and Kevin Durant, y'all are getting jobbed right now, but it is what it is. This is what they want.
I think my biggest problem isn't even that. I just wish they would air this because I think it would be amazing to see Kyrie be the last pick because that would happen and it would be completely hilarious.
He got that question in his pregame presser over in London earlier today. And he just gave you that answer like, it's a process. It's our first year trying it. We like the idea, stuff like that. So we'll see where it goes. Maybe one day, we will televise it and stuff like that. But I don't understand why they can't just throw that on TNT, be an extra program, let Kenny, Chuck, and Ernie and Shaq make some fun out of it. I think it'll be a ratings goal.
They have their own network. They have their own network that they can do programming on anytime they want. Like, there's no need. They're scared that a player is going to get his feelings hurt, and that the players' union is going to have a problem with it. That's all it is, man. But who cares?
I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be in the room so I can figure out who to follow on Snapchat.
Like, I mean, come on, man. Who cares if you're the last pick of NBA All-Stars? That means you are the 30th best player in the world. You be all right, man.
But you know how these dudes are.
Whatever, man.
And I blame Ricky Bobby for all this, though, Hank.
You're not first, you last.
There you go. It's all his fault, yo. It's all his fault. Last thing, real quick though. The Cavs, right? They dropped 6 out of the last 9 games. Is it time to worry, or is this much about nothing?
I think it's much to do about nothing. I mean, people were low-key worrying when they started off bad. I mean, I just think this team, the East, is in my opinion, still going to be so easy for them that they can take these lulls during the season and learn themselves, get everybody acclimated, gel with some of the new players on the team, and they'll still end up coming out of the East, man. I don't think it's any sweat.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting our things back. Once he's fully functional, he's going to give them another spark and carries them through this, through this winter. They're going to be fine, man. They're going to be first, second in the East as usual.
I don't even think they proved that last season. I don't even think they care about seeding anymore. Like, we're going to play. They're going to get as much rest as possible, and they're going to go into the playoffs no matter what the seed, and they're going to dominate it. So.
No doubt.
Nothing to worry about.
All right, so
they're still going to lose
to
who they were going to lose to anyway, but it ain't going to happen in the East.
That's why the All-Star break should have been our fun to see that team get built, because we already know the ending of the season already. Anyway, with that being said, man, it's time to get out of here. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us for another briefing in the War Room. Shout out to everybody, chat room, Facebook, Twitter, those who hit us up on the group app. We appreciate that. All the callers who called in and got through, salute to you. Those that couldn't get through, we apologize. Special thanks to Gus, for investment tips. Tune in next week live right here or on demand on WRS. You know how to find us. That's at warroomsports.com. We'll catch up on everything that's going to happen in the association between now and then. Of course, there's more football to be played this weekend, some playoffs. So
we'll talk about the Eagles' funeral.
Just listen, everything that we do, all of our conversations, all of our social media, all of our content, everything can be found at warroomsports.com. My book, Sports the Book, can be found at sportsthebook.com or also at warroomsports.com. So until next time, everybody, do not accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the work you're taking. We'll see you chumps on top. Var, get the t-shirts out, dude.
6 to 8. Yeah. War Room Sports. Y'all ready? Let's go. Stay in tune to Jimmy. Know the blueprint. Yo. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-1400-12. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic and the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college.